This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And we have a filled up Wyoming Sports Talk today. Just to give you an idea what's coming up, we're going to be talking with LCCC Rodeo coach Seth Glause here in just a couple of moments. He's going to be joined by Girard, who's back with us again from Green River. We also have
Girard. How about that one?
Bernard Girard. We also have Sydney Graff, who's from Nebraska. She's part of the LCCC Rodeo team. And we even have the announcer for the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo. Let me see if I got this right. Kory Keeth will be joining us as well. Then we've got football to talk about coming up in the next hour. All kinds of good stuff. So let's get to our program. And it's being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, KRAE Avenue, downtown, of course, on Yellowstone Road. Right now on Del Range and Ridge, of course, Pershing and Ridge, and the food truck available for you even on a cold day like today in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot. Yes, the South Greeley dress, it's almost there. Delicious Taco John cuisine available for you 7 days a week, and for breakfast too. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Hey, if you are looking at, well, maybe it's time to get rid of that bucket of bolts. We got some 19s that still need to move out on the lot. The 20s are in right now. Saw a couple more Tellurides driving around town. I'm telling you, that is going to be the big hitter for Key of Cheyenne. Yes, you're looking for an SUV. Key of Cheyenne has your SUV in the all-new Telluride. Talk to my good friend AJ and the crew today. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking done the old-fashioned way, done the high-technology way, done everything in between. Services that you've come to expect and even more from Rick and the crew at Platte Valley Bank over on Vandehigh and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range across from Powers Field and Menards. Great day to sample that delicious mac and cheese. It'll go well with your chicken sandwich and those waffle fries. Matter of fact, if you haven't had the opportunity, I do encourage you to try their frosted caramel coffee. You'll really enjoy that as well. It's a good blend. You don't have to have it for breakfast. I mean, you can, but you can have it for dinner as well, too. Check out all of the menu goodies inside at Chick-fil-A or use the convenient drive-thrus, two of them, over at Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards and Powers Field. Serve it up 3 squares Monday through Saturday. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, contact Gene and the great staff. You can see them on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse Monday through Saturday. You can go inside or you can use the convenient drive-thru outside. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Your home for Maytag, GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and more. And, of course, they service what they sell. And maybe you've got something that you want to hold on to. Call their service department. They'll come on by and take good care of you. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard, both part of Lennox Enterprises. Founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather for over a quarter century. Service is always number one, and again, quality workmanship always number one as well. So again, when you need something done on your vehicle and you want it almost showroom new, see Lennox Auto Body. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, again, offering some wonderful annual percentage yields on CDs right now. And if you want to shop around, go ahead. Then come to First Tier Bank, open Monday through Friday. Cross the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons for almost 5 decades now. We have been enjoying the delicious Paisan Italian cuisine from Joe Mondello, his family, and all of the crew over there. And again, these are family recipes, not corporate recipes, whether you're doing a pizza, stromboli, how about calzone? And how about fresh, delicious sandwiches on fresh baked bread? Nobody does it better than Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. And we get our show underway. It's Scoreboard Time. Is being brought to you by Pepsi of Shine. We'll go first to Nick.
Since we won't have a show here, at least coming up tomorrow, we do want to remind folks coming up this Friday, or at least tomorrow, LCCC Women's Volleyball in action here in town over at the Rack as they will host Sheridan College. That is a 7 o'clock at least start time there. Again, this game happening tomorrow at LCCC. Again, women's volleyball in action against Sheridan College. NHL action for tonight, however, there is a lot of contests going on tonight as we will see the Toronto Maple Leafs at home hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Red Wings of Detroit will travel to Montreal to see the Canadiens. New Jersey Devils will host the Edmonton Oilers. The Anaheim Ducks, the undefeated Ducks, will travel to Pittsburgh to see the Penguins. The Ottawa Senators in Canada's nation capital will host the St. Louis Blues. Washington Capitals will travel to Nashville to the Bridgestone Arena to see the Predators. Coming up tonight, Winnipeg Jets at home. They will host the Minnesota Wild. San Jose Sharks travel out to Chicago to the United Center to see the Chicago Blackhawks. That is happening as well tonight. About 6:30 is the start time there. Dallas Stars hosting the Calgary Flames. Boston Bruins travel down south, or at least 100 miles south of us in the Pepsi Center. Pepsi Can, the Colorado Avalanche take on the Boston Bruins. That is a 7 o'clock start time. And the Arizona Coyotes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight. And do want to remind folks coming up tomorrow here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com. So where you can hear this contest, video live streaming as always on Periscope via Twitter and the 1480KRAE YouTube channel. We will have the Capital City Bowl between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central. East hosting this contest at Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex. 6 o'clock start time, 5:20-ish pre-game show here on 1480KRAE. Again, looking forward to this contest as it's, week 6? Game 7, however, of 2019 Class 4A high school football here in the state of Wyoming.
And to join Nick along with Chris Polton, hopefully he won't be wearing all black tomorrow in memory of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, I know.
What a collapse.
And, of course, yours truly. Hey, Major League Baseball. Now, this is interesting, just so we know. All road teams have clinched the ALDS or the NLDS. Yankees went on the road and clinched Game 3 at Target Field, so they're in. St. Louis, a 10 spot in the first inning, cruising to a 13-1 victory over Atlanta. They're in. The Dodgers coughing up a 3-0 lead, losing in 10 innings last night to the Washington Nationals. So the Nats and the Cardinals. Cardinals will host Game 1 of the NLCS. For us, tonight, one more ALDS. It's at Minute Maid in Houston as the Astros will play host to the Rays. Winner moving on to the American League Championship Series to face off with the New York Yankees. Again, Game 5 of this American League Divisional Series. 5:07 start time on the Mountain Daylight Time Zone. So there you go. Our scoreboard.
Hold on. You still got – it's Thursday.
Oh, that's right. The National Football League. And really, should this game even be allowed to happen? The New York Giants will go to Foxborough and Gillette Stadium to take on the New England Patriots.
If anything,
the
it's
undefeated New England Patriots.
Yeah, but the up-and-coming, at least, new face of the NFL, one Daniel Jones. So.
The New York Giants going up against the powerful.
There's a more terrible game coming up on Sunday.
Well, this one is got all the makings of being awful tonight. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. On the way, we will check in with Seth Glause, the head rodeo coach at LCCC. Coming up.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti, along with Seth Glause, head coach at the LCCC with the rodeo program. Seth, very important rodeo that's coming up this weekend. And again, we always talk about the Shawn Dubie Memorial. I'm sure Nick doesn't have any idea because it happened before his time, but you know the history on Shawn Dubie.
Yeah, Shawn Dubie was a Sweetwater County resident, come to school here at LCCC, was tragically killed in a rodeo accident in Greeley, Colorado. So since his accident, we've held the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo annually, and it's just been a great hit. We've got a lot of community support.
It's ironic, too, with the Shawn Dubie accident that happened at the Greeley Stampede, 1989. That's in July. And then a month later, we had Lane Frost dying here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. I mean, again, an up-and-coming, promising rodeo star in Shawn Dubie, because, correct me if I'm wrong, he was 87 and 88 that he was that he qualified for the CNFR with his saddle bronc rider, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. He was a saddle bronc rider and bareback rider and qualified both those years and was a very talented athlete that had a great career ahead of him.
He got kicked in the head by a horse.
Well, and we talk about at least the unfortunate accident. Again, it is something that comes with rodeo, again, whether it is collegiate-wise, high school ranks, or, again, when they get to the professional ranks. But in your opinion, Seth, again, you've at least been at least a competitor, now a head coach at LCCC. What advances from probably back in the 80s to here we are in 2019 that show a little bit more protection for the athletes out there on these horses, on these bulls? What's kind of been the advancements to kind of protect their lives?
Yeah, the biggest advancement as far as safety went was the protective vests that they have. Now you get stepped on and they really absorb the impact, or they slide off and it doesn't hurt you. The one that's really come along in the last few years has been the helmets and the boar head. It's mandatory for high school and college kids to wear them now, and I think they're trying to do the right things with all the advancements that we know about concussions and those sort of things.
Let's talk about the rodeo arena itself. And again, here you are, Nick. You're 29 years old. I remember taking you to the Cheyenne Circus when you were about 3 or 4 years old. This rodeo arena has withstood the test of time, and it's even, I guess, it gets challenged here during the cold weather. But it actually is very comfortable to sit in there and watch rodeo events.
Oh yeah, we the indoor arena's heated, very nice. We keep the heater rolling, make sure it's comfortable temperatures in there all year round, and our arena that's been there for as long as I can remember. And we had Temple Grandin in the other day looking at our facilities, and she's like, "This is the best thing that I've ever seen made." It's an amazing facility, and we're very lucky to have it here in Cheyenne.
So a nice opportunity coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in town over at the LCCC Arena for at least the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo happening. Again, LCCC being a part of it, but again, getting this at least the compliments, and now being back at home where you've competed across the state of Wyoming, as kind of in the region now, getting so to speak, that home cooking for your athletes. Got to feel a little relaxed. You know what to expect in that arena. From those grounds, at least going through practice, so to speak, for these, at least for this memorial, at least rodeo. Got to feel a little confident that, hey, your student athletes, they know what to expect on these grounds.
Oh yeah, we always enjoy home field advantage. We've had a great fall so far, and look to be very competitive and do big things.
And do want to talk very quickly as well, too, about Friday's, at least, rodeo action coming up. 7 o'clock is when it will start, but also, too, it has been themed Military Appreciation. Just talk a little bit about that, at least, day for this rodeo.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all freedom military. We'll do a color guard presenting our flags, and it'll be a very nice opening to honor and show that we stand with our troops.
The nice thing, too, about this rodeo event is that you're going to see teams that you're very familiar with throughout the course of the rodeo season. Tell us who's going to be involved in the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo.
Yeah, there's 13 teams in our region. All 13 competed, all 10 at the rodeos. Casper, UW, Sheridan, Gillette, NJC, Otero, Lamar. I know I'm forgetting a couple. Central Wyoming College.
Also, to the rough stock that comes in, did you have, knowing that the weather was going to change, did you bring them in advance, or do they show up day of?
No, so we actually got the rough stock in yesterday. All the bucking horses, they're out in the pasture and can see them if you drive by the school. Bucking bulls will come in tomorrow before the rodeo, and then all the other livestock will be here tonight.
All right. Well, Seth, again, we want to thank you for coming on in, and we have some of your student athletes that are going to be joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Anything you'd like to add before we wrap things up?
No, just want to thank the community for all their support and come out and see us on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And ticket sales, you can get tickets at the door, obviously.
Yeah.
What's the admission?
$10 at the door. All military's free all weekend. And just come see some great rodeo action.
Seth Glause, the head rodeo coach over at LCCC. Again, Shawn Dubie Memorial, Nick, and you know as well as I do, that's going to be all weekend long. So if you haven't made any plans, and again, what a great place to watch rodeo, especially in the time. How do I describe it? It's just that this rodeo arena has withstood the test of time. Still a great place to watch a rodeo at the LCCC Rodeo Arena. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after these words here on 1480 KRAE. Directly across from Powers Field and Menards are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include two more words, Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs, with two fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with light snow likely throughout the day with highs around 23 and winds of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 8 and winds of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 40, and on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 18.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, back after the break here on Wyoming Sports Talk today, as we get a chance to talk to the student athletes that Coach has brought in. And we're going to talk to a veteran of 1480 KRAE, Bernard Girard, Sweetwater County's own Bernard Girard out of Green River, talking about the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo. But let's talk about the rodeo season in general. Been a busy one for you guys again at LCCC.
Yes, sir. The last 4 weekends prior to this one, we've been gone every weekend starting off. And, where the heck do we start off at? Not Gillette. Went to Riverton and then Sheridan, Chadron. I mean, we've been driving all over. So, I mean, we put a lot of miles on the horses, a lot of hours in the practice pen. And it's been going good. It's been busy. The team's kind of had a little bit of a rough year, but I think Shawn Dubie's going to kick us off with a bang.
But you talk about that, at least the hard road travel for at least the rodeo team for LCCC. Again, that's kind of not so uncommon, though, if you want to get kind of the pro ranks again, where you're traveling across the nation to find those events and compete in it. But, focusing on you, Bernard, where we look at the few events that have happened before this Memorial Rodeo coming up this weekend, how have you done personally in your events?
In the steer wrestling, I've done quite well this year. I've had some luck. I think currently I'm sitting second in the region. And the tie down, it's been started off a little shaky at Shattern and then Sheridan, but at Riverton I had some luck, and so I think I'm sitting like sixth in the region in the tie down. So those two events have treated me pretty good this fall.
You look at your background here, especially in rodeo. I'm venturing to say in the Green River area, your family is a ranching family.
Yes, sir. And we also drill wells, like water wells. So we have a couple drilling rigs, service windmills, all sorts of that stuff.
So you stay active, but again, steer wrestling. I'm thinking, you're a strong guy, and again, you can only go out so many times and wrestle the steer. Are you involved in weights? I mean, how do you stay fresh during the off season?
During the off season, it just kind of depends. Rodeo, I don't know if a guy should be doing a lot of like powerlifting and stuff. A lot of it's mostly like stretching and stuff. Like last year, I was in a yoga class that kind of helped muscles. Because last year during the rodeo, I actually got hurt. I had torn my groin, so I didn't get to compete. So a lot of stretching, agility, kind of more just kind of keeping the body primed instead of just bulking on muscle.
Well, here we are in the middle of the action right now. Again, past the offseason, you're in the thick of it with LCCC. You talk about the events that you've at least competed in and just how it's gone so far before this at least upcoming rodeo here in town. But focusing back on that tie down, where you're saying, hey, you've had a little issue here, trying to at least get back into the swing of things, so to speak. What does practice look like for you? How do you practice that to get better and prepare yourself for the upcoming events on the remaining part of the schedule?
Well, I really don't change my game plan too much from week to week. I know what it takes, going to have to win, and what a horse has got to do and what I've got to do every time. There's just sometimes in rodeo where it just don't go wrong. So I think especially where we're going from one weekend, 4 days, and then we're on to the next one. You're not going to change a whole lot in 4 days. So I think if a guy just keeps grinding on his craft and just doing what you're doing, pretty soon it's going to fall into place.
Talking with Bernard Girard here with LCCC's rodeo program. Let's look at the arena as Coach Glause said. Hey, home court advantage, so to speak. The ins and outs of it. Again, with the stock that they're bringing in. Do you get a chance? And I guess the word would be, do you get a chance to scout some of that rough stock that they're bringing in to get a feel of what you're going to be going after?
Yes, sir. And it's rodeo's kind of neat because like when you're going all summer long, you'll get to a rodeo and you'll kind of go look at your draw, and man, you'll call somebody from 3 weeks ago. I had him in a completely different place. Like, man, what'd this steer do? What'd this calf do? And they'll tell you. So like this weekend, the cattle that are coming. Terry Graff's bringing them from clear out in Nebraska, and they've gone to some rodeos. So when guy sees what he draw, just dial up the phone, and you can buzz some guys that you rodeoed with all summer and aren't even at the rodeo, and they'll tell you what he's like.
In today's technology age, and obviously my son is way advanced in technology than I am, do you actually get to see film on these former rodeos?
Oh, yeah. They'll sometimes be like, well, man, I got a video of that run. We can just send it to you. So you even have an advantage of being able to see what he did on the ground, how he run. Even what color he is if you really want to. But, yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah, like that again, kind of like football, breaking down film and just analyzing back, forth, up, and down of just what happened and how to improve on things. But, we talk about at least what's upcoming this weekend. But as we shift backwards, at least before LCCC got underway, what did the offseason look like for you, Bernard? What events did you compete on before getting back on campus with LCCC?
Mostly during the summer, I was just roping calves mostly. At the rodeo, I'll be steer wrestling and team roping as well. But I ran a lot of calf horses that we raise and train. So most of my summers kind of spent tuning on them, training a bunch, and working with that. At the school, really kicked it off hard working at the steer wrestling. We got Dean Finnerty. Rodeoed really hard there for a while, about made the finals, Bulldogs really well. And he kind of really helped tune it up this fall and made it really feel good. So
let's talk about it as we look at the past, the present, and then the future for you, Bernard, where, again, here you are, another year with LCCC, sophomore season with this, at least, program. what does the future hold for you? Is it something that you want to, again, head on over to the four-year institutions, like, for instance, with UW, that you know that they offer this and have that availability, and, again, get that bachelor's degree with the University of Wyoming? Or is it a situation of, hey, once you're done at LCCC, you're going straight to the pro ranks?
I think schooling's important. Getting nowadays traveling up and down the road to the pro rodeos, jumping on a plane to a car, to calling people to stay, renting a horse. I mean, a guy's got to be smart to get up and down the road nowadays. It's not like just getting in a truck and going to 60 rodeos. Guy's got to hit as many as he can. So I think having that schooling be important, and just like coming here at LCCC, the opportunities it's given me, meeting people, the connections I've gathered, I mean, that'll help to the pro ranks more than just trying to hit the pro ranks.
You know, my final thought to you is, who was your biggest inspiration getting into rodeo?
Oh, there's an old guy that taught me how to rope, Larry Becker. He didn't start roping until, well, I guess he started roping at his early age, but he never really got a pro rodeo. But the guy he's had 3 or 4 hip surgeries. He's had both knees done twice, and he just loves the rope for what it's about. I mean, just truly loves it and helps me. So just a guy that's that beat up and loves to do it, I mean, just kind of gives the guy something to strive for.
Hey, it's our pleasure and our honor to have you back here in studio talking about it. Good luck this weekend. Again, the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo all weekend long, LCCC Rodeo Arena. We're going to take a time out. We got more coming up right here on Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jameson Irish Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.99. Modelo Especial, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $25.49. And Black Velvet Reserve Canadian Whiskey, 1.75 liter bottle, $15.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low price leader.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Proetti, Nick Proetti, and Cindy Graff joining us. And again, another student athlete with the LCCC Rodeo program. And Cindy, if I understand right, sophomore at LCCC. Also, too, we're going to ask you where you're from and what are you majoring in?
I'm from Long Pine, Nebraska, and I'm majoring in psychology with an emphasis in social work.
Now, as you mentioned, as you sat down, you do barrels. Also tie-down roping, if I'm not mistaken?
I do breakaway roping,
breakaway,
team roping, and barrel racing.
Now let's talk about barrels. And again, too, I've had the opportunity at Frontier Days for many years to call the junior barrels, and watching the young kids develop into, the collegiate athletes. I mean, I'm hearing names that is like, wow, I called that young man or young lady, 13, 14 years ago. My question is to you, when did you start with barrels?
Yeah, that's where it all started. I mean, as a kid, I ran junior barrels at a lot of the pro rodeos and amateur rodeos that my dad was going to and roping at. So that's kind of where I got my start, and it branched from there into team roping, breakaway roping, and barrel racing. And so I probably started around actually going to the rodeos around age 5 or so.
Now, with barrels, and I know especially at Frontier Days, they got that big arena. The horses, kind of looking at the whole arena, and you have to be right on top of it. You've been practicing in the LCCC Rodeo Arena. You've been to other areas where you've had that chance. Tell me a little bit, when you are working with your horse, how do you keep it steady to do the the figure 8 and come back around and try to get it in 16, 17 seconds?
Well, I think a lot of it just goes as like riding your horse a lot and like them getting to know you and you getting to know them to where you guys really get to gel and know each other. And then like as far as the barrel racing goes, like some of those horses can get hot if you keep running them a lot. So doing a lot of slow work and like focusing on fundamentals at a slow pace around the barrels so that when you do go fast, there's no mistakes made, and like as smooth and as fluent as possible will be as fast as you can. And that like makes a huge difference. Also, I think that being here at LCCC in the barrels is probably the biggest advantage as far as our team for the rodeo, because like the barrels, we've worked in that arena all fall so far, so our horses know it and we know exactly when we need to sit, or exactly when our horses know it, we know it. Like we've got that pattern down pat, and so I think that'll be a huge advantage for us this weekend.
So take us a trip through your past. At least here you are, a sophomore at LCCC. Before you became a freshman, stepped on campus here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, again out there in Nebraska, where plenty of schools for opportunity to at least continue your rodeo career, get your education, even here in the state of Wyoming. But why LCCC? Why did you decide to at least attend this school here in Cheyenne, Wyoming?
I think LCCC is great. They Bo Clark was the coach the past year or whatever, and he originally got a hold of me and talked to me about coming and visiting, and so I kind of opened my spectrum and looked at a few places, and when I came here it just seemed like the fit. Like I liked what they were doing as far as like being very diligent with school, practice, life, everything, like everything you needed to meet these standards, and I liked that, and I liked being pushed, and I just thought it was great. I love how the community and the school all support rodeo so great and really give us a chance to be a real sport and not just kind of on the back burner.
Here's your second year being a part of this Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo with LCCC, again coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in town. Again, 7 o'clock start times on Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday. For you, Sydney, what takeaways from last season, from last year's rodeo event, did you at least want to expect or again, want to at least experience once again coming up here this weekend?
I think that the crowd was great. For a college rodeo, our performances were packed more than any other college rodeo in our region, and I think that just goes to show how much not only LCCC but Cheyenne as a community is behind the rodeo team. And I think that it just, like, it fuels your fire and it just encourages you that much more, and so I think it'll be great, and I really hope the crowd comes out again this year.
My final thought to you, obviously family has a ranch. Now, you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Now, with all of the events that you perform in, is this something that, because I remember you said, I like to be pushed. Is something on the family ranch that all of you were involved in doing all of this and pushing each other to be better in the sport of rodeo?
Yeah, my brother and my sister, they don't rodeo as hard as I do, but both had all at a young age. We all did, and we're all really competitive, and so I think that was a big thing. And not only just my brothers and sisters and my dad, but my uncle and my cousins did as well, and they were really into it. So I think they're a little bit older than me, and always growing up and watching all of them, and my sister, just kind of like, I want to be like them, and I want to be better than them, and I think that was a huge influence.
Now, as you mentioned with Bo Clark recruiting you out to LCCC, now the head coach over at the University of Wyoming, obviously a four-year institution, opportunity there for you possibly, but for you, again, here it is, at least school-wise, your final year with LCCC. what does the future hold for you? Have you looked into that for your institution? Are you looking to move on to the pro ranks? What does this, at least future, hold for you right now?
I haven't really decided yet where I would like to continue my education, but I for sure want to continue my education at a university for a bachelor's in psychology. And I would love to eventually be roping in the pro rodeos now that breakaway's been added. That's the main thing I've really been focusing on, and I really hope this is the year of the breakaway roper, so they've added it to 1 million pro rodeos and big ropins, and that's where the money's at now. So that's my ultimate goal.
Well, I was going to say, let me interrupt you, Sydney, real quick. Tell me about breakaway, for those that are not familiar with breakaway roping.
Breakaway is just about like the tie-down roping. Females do it, and they rope a calf, and their end of their rope is tied onto their saddle horn by a kite string. So when you rope the calf and the rope becomes tight, then it pops away. And as soon as it pops away, then the time stops. So it's a quick event, and it's getting so competitive that it's one of the best things that the crowd really enjoys because it's so fast.
We'll anticipate that coming up this weekend here in town. Again, the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo happening here in town over at LCCC. Again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Want to go quickly back, at least a comment that you just had of getting at least that pro aspirations. You know, we know Cheyenne Frontier Days out here as being, the daddy of them all. It is that mecca for rodeo. But for you, if you are able to get to that point in your career, and hopefully you are able to at least join the pro ranks, is CFD that main event that you want to attend? Is there events around the nation that's kind of on your radar, or just making it to the pro, at least that national finals out in Las Vegas? What would be that event that stands out that you want to attend?
Well, this past summer I actually did rope at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and it was awesome. It was like a dream come true, just watching my dad compete there for so many years, and finally us women get another chance, not just in the barrel racing, but also in the roping, get a chance to compete there at the Daddy of 'em All, where there's so much heritage and tradition and everything. I think it was just overwhelming. And being able to rope against some of my idols like Jackie Hobbs and Larry D. Crawford and all those people, it was just awesome.
And I'm glad, too, that the ladies now are getting more than just, like you said, more than just barrel racing. They get a chance now, on the breakaway, so I think that is absolutely awesome. We wish you all the best this weekend. Thank you for coming on board with us. We got to take a time out. We're going to be back with more right here on 1480 KRAE.
Pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Relieve your stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With the new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2020 Kia Sportage comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. With the 2020 Kia Sportage, you get a new updated exterior, plenty of standard technology, driver-assisted features, and 2 available engines with available all-wheel drive. Come into Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or a retailer for details.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with light snow likely throughout the day with highs around 23 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 8 and winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 40, and on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 18.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
On our final segment, as we get ready for the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo at the LCCC Rodeo Arena, we're bringing the announcer. And again, I've worked with some really great announcers over the years. Justin McKee, most recently, I worked with here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but, Justin was a pretty good guy. And I think back to other rodeo announcers as well, because I was at Frontier Days for about 16 years doing the pre-rodeo and even the pre-night show back in the day. But we're talking with Kory Keeth. First off, Kory, where you hailed from?
I'm from Conway, Missouri. It's around Springfield. It's basically southwest Missouri is what it would be considered.
And another name that came to mind was John Shipley. I remember John, he was from Steamboat Springs. But, let's talk about being the announcer at a rodeo event. And again, we can call football, we can call baseball, we can call basketball. You got all of the rodeo involved in your show right away as you're calling. How do you keep up with all of it?
Honestly, you have to be a fan, and that's something that I laughed when you said Justin McKee a while ago, because he's the guy that made the first phone call for me to get my start. Super good friend of mine, but Justin always told me you have to be a fan of rodeo to engage fans on the event that you're announcing, and I think that's so true. And I love the sport. I love the culture. I love the atmosphere and just everything that comes with it. And every event has its own, niche. And each event has its own cowboy to watch for, or cowgirl to watch for, and it just makes it exciting.
The first guy I worked with was Hadley Barrett.
Right, a legend.
You're just name dropping left and right over
here.
Well, but the good news is he knows this. It's kind of like, announcers, in our profession of sports, I go back a long way. And again, too, these are guys that, not so much that you try to emulate, but they were legends. And if you go to the Rodeo Hall of Fame in Colorado Springs, you'll see these names up there, because they have a special wing for the announcers as well too.
Their names will be on the wall.
So give us, at least for you, Kory, a little background of how you got into this. Again, were you a former athlete in the rodeo world? Again, were you just starting out, again, where someone just said, hey, announcing, you love the sport, get into it. Give us a background of how are you here today?
So I guess I should rewind a little bit. I was about 5 years old, and I remember we used to watch the PBR on television, and I remember telling my mom and dad one day that I want to announce rodeos. I want to be just like Justin McKee, of all people. And, 5 years old, that's kind of a steep, pretty steep to say. Because, dreams change, your mind changes all the time. But this one thing that just never has left my mind of being an announcer. And I played baseball all through high school, and that's actually where that's how I ended up getting to Northeast Oklahoma. I was supposed to play college baseball. And I went down there for my college visit, and I just was very overwhelmed when I pulled into the parking lot that I wasn't supposed to play baseball anymore, but I was supposed to pursue this rodeo passion. And I met all the right people, ended up meeting Justin like 3 or 4 weeks after school got started. And, man, it's just been a wild ride. I mean, it really has. I mean, I could sit here and tell you the whole story, but we just don't have time.
Looking at, with all of this announcing that you do, the sport of rodeo has changed too. It's actually, what I like about the sport of rodeo, it advances with the times. And when you have rough stock coming out of the pens right now, or the gates, it's music underneath, and sometimes it's rock and roll. I mean, it's like, wait, the country audience is getting down to Guns N' Roses.
It's funny you say that, and so I'm kind of at a point now in my career. I don't run music anymore. Thankfully, I will hear, just because that's something that Seth asked me to do, if I can do both. And it's very hard to do both at the same time, and it's better if you have one guy that can focus on the music and one guy focus on the announcing. It makes it so much better. But you're exactly right. People ask me all the time, they're like, well, I don't want to go to a rodeo because I'm going to hear, some country music song or whatever. And I'm like, no. I haven't heard a country song at a rodeo in a really long time. It's been a really long time.
Yeah, you go watch some of the PBR, at least late night PBR and all those events.
But the rock and roll, the rock and rodeo, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really just amps the crowd up.
Oh, yeah. You know, so I'm going to rewind. This has nothing to do with the college rodeo, but a couple of weeks ago, it was the last weekend of pro rodeo, and Andy Stewart and I, we announced the American Royal at Kansas City together. And Trey Kimsey, who his brother's a world champion, Sage Kimsey, was sitting 16th in the world. And I remember looking at Jersey Jake. He was the music director at Kansas City. And I was like, Jersey, man, just lay something on us. You know, get this ride set up. He was the last guy out on Saturday afternoon. It was a do-or-die moment. And, I mean, the crowd was they were just into it. You know, you turn that song on, just let it build up for a minute, and then you start talking about Trey's story. 16th in the world. He comes down to this bull, this moment. He's $1,300 out of 15 right now. He has to ride this bull to go to our Wrangler NFR. And, I mean, that music sets that whole tone for that ride. And that's a huge part of it.
Now, as you get prepared to announce these events, and again, upcoming with this event here in Cheyenne over at LCCC, again, the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo, you know, where we talk about, at least with the football side of things, whether it's high school or even JUCO with LCCC, you know, we get a chance to step on down, talk with the coaches, talk with the athletes if we can, kind of get at least a personality with them to tell kind of those stories as well, too. Is that something that you try to do when you're at these various events? Do you try to at least sit down with an athlete, pick their brain, so to speak, so you kind of get that understanding, or at least kind of get that vibe of what you need to do, what you need to call, what you need to play for that athlete when they're up?
Absolutely, and it's all part of fan engagement. And every athlete has the story. You know, you just talk to Bernie, you just talk to City. They both have their stories, and they're incredible. And that's just two people that are entered in this rodeo this weekend. And if you look at the lineup, and I haven't even seen a day sheet yet, but as soon as I get it, I'll go through, and I'm giving out my secrets here on the radio to some other announcer out there, but I will Google every single name. And if there's people I don't know, I'll call some people I do know. Like, I might ask Bernie this week to sit down with me and say, hey, who do you know on this day sheet? Like, I don't have anything for this person. What do you know? I don't even – it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I just want to know, like, where they live, where they from, what's their mom and dad do, you know, how'd they start rodeo. I mean, because everybody has that story. There's actually a kid, I'm not sure if he's here, but last year, I just remember there's a bareback rider. He goes to school at Lamar. He actually got dared to be a bareback rider at school. So, yeah, this sounds really dangerous. Don't try this at home, people. Yeah. For those of you that are listening.
You know, again, with the announcing portion of the program, is CNFR on your radar as well, or how do you get the gigs?
So this business is very you have to have some talent, but it's all about who you know to an extent. And opportunities seem to arise when you do a good job. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that. And, of course, the College National Finals Rodeo, that would be a dream come true to be able to announce that. The National Finals Rodeo, it would be a dream to announce that. And earlier this year, if we're going to talk about that, there's an event they have in AT&T Stadium called the American. And I actually got to be a part of it. I was the third guy on the floor there, and that was a dream come true this year for me because at the time I was 25 years old, and there was two of the youngest announcers in our business doing the biggest rodeo. I mean, one of the biggest rodeos in our industry, and that's a pretty cool moment. But it takes every little step, you know, like the American was this year. You know, who knows, next year it might be something else, and the next year you add something else, and then maybe the CNFR, then maybe the NFR, or maybe the Frontier Days, or, you know, Reno or Ellensburg. I got to go to Ellensburg this year too, so I mean, it's just all baby steps, you know.
Yeah, and it looks good on the resume.
It does.
Kory, Keith, we want to thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. And again, 3 days, you're going to have those vocal cords blasting through the LCCC Rodeo Arena during the Shawn Dubie Memorial. Thank you so much for being on Wyoming.
How fortunate that it gets cold out here as well too. That does have a nice little effect as well too. So yeah, hydration.
Every time I come, it snows. You're welcome, people.
All right, we got to take a timeout. We're going to come back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. Under the definition of fun in the dictionary, they need to include two more words, Wyoming Downs. It's the perfect way to have fun with new and even more exciting simulcasting games on display, including Classic Heat, Great American Racing, Samurai Legacy, plus the Great Jackpot. That's just a sampling of fun that's happening today at Wyoming Downs. Make sure to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, double points on Mondays, plus other special promotions going on at Wyoming Downs with two fun locations in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. Remember, for more information, go to wydowns.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with light snow likely throughout the day with highs around 23 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 8 and winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 40, and on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 18.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Oh, you think hour number one has been busy for us? Wait till we get to hour number two, as we will gear up for East Central, which is happening tomorrow at the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex. Jerry Schlabs will be joining us next hour, along with Chad Goff, the head football coach at Cheyenne East, head football coach at Cheyenne Central, Mike Apodaca. We still have more business to do here with LCCC and the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo, which will be upcoming here beginning tomorrow evening, Saturday evening, and Sunday afternoon. So
Sunday morning, how about that?
Sunday morning-ish, yeah. But, you know, the good news, if we, this is what I said on my show this morning over on the other side. If we can just get through tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday have a lot of improvement, so there will be no excuse for you not to get out.
Yeah, but the roads are already melting.
No, I know, it's good, but, you know, some people are like, it's too cold. You know, they'll give you that excuse.
You're not outside for this again. It's heated inside.
I understand that, but just to come outside. But bottom line is, we're going to have three great days.
If you're afraid of driving on the snow, you're in the wrong part of the country.
Never said they're afraid to drive in snow. Just talking about cold. It's going to be rather chilly again tomorrow.
Yeah, but again, you're inside for this event at the LCCC Arena. So, again, all it is a quick step from the parking lot there right next to the LCCC Arena to get inside, get it all squared away. So, again, you know, not a valid excuse in my opinion. But either way, again, coming up tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Friday, Saturday, again, 7 as well. In Sunday's, at least, action at 11 a.m. As we've been giving away tickets for this, at least, event throughout this week here on Wyoming Sports Talk today, again, as it was a Facebook, at least, contest, as we have done with all of our ticket giveaways. We continued with the LCCC, at least tickets that we have gotten this week. Thank you all who have entered in on the Facebook side of things, where it was simply, if you didn't, But again, we'll give away more Cowboy tickets coming up, and maybe also to a few other LCCC tickets. But again, for all context, for all contests, information, updates regarding the show, you head over to our Facebook page, Wyoming Sports Talk Today is how you search for it, or it's facebook.com/WyoSportsTalk. So congratulations to our 2 winners from this past week. Again, we have 1 prize pack remaining, which includes a pair of tickets to go see all days, all of the weekend's events, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and also a pair of goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Del Range and Windmill. So, again, thank you to all who have entered in as I shake up the fishbowl of awesomeness to see who our final winner for this prize pack is going to be. It is going to be Josh Ahrens. Josh Ahrens, Ahrens. So, Josh Ahrens, congratulations. You are our winner of the final prize pack to go see the Shawn Dubie Memorial Rodeo coming up this weekend, starting up tomorrow. Again, I will notify you on Facebook of how you come by, pick up your prize pack. Because, again, you will need to do it first thing tomorrow because the events start tomorrow night.
Yes, absolutely. So get in here if you can in the morning. Like you said, you are going to.
Guess what? In the afternoon, we're not going to be here.
No, doors will be closed tomorrow. We're out of here. As a matter of fact, we're even one more body short. So we will be out of here probably by about noon o'clock tomorrow.
No.
So, yeah. And again, we could do the Saturday thing because I will be there Saturday. But, you definitely want to get to the rodeos tomorrow night for sure. All right. Thank you again to everybody, like Nick mentioned, for getting onto our Facebook page. What would you like to discuss here before we get to the top of the hour? Would you like to discuss the Dodgers' downfall last night, or would you like to discuss?
I mean, we have
St.
2 minutes,
Louis,
and that's not enough. And St. Louis, winning
Louis
big,
kicking the snot out of Atlanta.
Whoop-de-doo, nothing surprising there.
All right, but let me ask you this: you look at just real quick here the National League, because again, we don't have a
the
dog.
surprise of anything is Washington moving on against the Dodgers. I didn't think Washington had a prayer. But go figure that the Dodgers had that unbelievable collapse. Again, how you let this slip away. Was it a situation that this season for the Dodgers that, was pretty much on cruise mode? They had no challenger throughout this entire season for that NL West. No one was relatively close for, it seems like up until probably after the month of April. Dodgers had the clear lead in that division, and it got to the point where it was double digits, and they just looked well ahead towards the postseason. Was it a situation that the Dodgers, not really being tested throughout the season, not really having to worry about series or games that they had? Was it a situation that a team that wasn't prepared came into the situation to a Washington team that is fought for their lives, made it through that wild card game, and surprised the Dodgers team? I believe that was a scenario, is that Washington caught a sleeping Dodgers team, a Dodgers team that was asleep at the wheel, that was not tested throughout this season, and wasn't prepared for something like this.
Dodgers came out thumping last night. Muncy homered. Kiki Hernandez homered. I mean, this is what they've been doing all season long. Either hitting home runs,
I'm not even talking game 5. I'm talking the series.
And again, this is the problem with the Dodgers on the offensive side, feast or famine. Well, they've been lucky this year. They've had more feast than famine.
Yeah.
But on the pitching side, now again, I don't throw the blame on Clayton Kershaw for losing last night.
Even though Dodger fans are probably going
he
to.
He blew the save. But, the next question is, do you throw blame on Dave Roberts?
No.
Because, again, Dave Roberts comes from the Bruce Bochy school of managing. I mean, we got to put in a picture for this, picture for that. You look at Kershaw.
That's not a Bochy thing. That is just something that MLB has gone to at this point in time.
Did he keep Joe Kelly in there too long last night? Think about it. Kelly comes in and had a strong 9th inning.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even touch him. And then the 10th inning was a whole different animal. He walks 3 guys and then gives up the home run.
You go off of stats. You go off of odds. You go off of what is, again, hey.
Walk 2 guys, I should say.
You have this opportunity with a starter kind of situation, what the Giants did back in 2014. Hey, Madison Bumgarner, if we need you, you're out there, even on short days rest, because, again, it is all hands on deck at that point in time. Again, where you lay the blame, who cares at this point in time? Like I said, this could, again, in my opinion, couldn't happen to a better franchise of the Dodgers once again, where, again, this team that seems to get it done through the regular season, but come postseason time, finds a way to screw it up. Like I said, it couldn't happen to a better franchise, even as a Giants fan. But, to the Dodgers, and you got to wonder what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back out there in Los Angeles. You've already changed managers. You've moved in personnel left and right.
You got a strong farm.
And you kept some of your playmakers, without a doubt, who continue to be playmakers, but coming to the postseason, they find a way to quiet down or either just not show up at all. What is it going to be? Because, again, to feel the pulse of the nation of the LA Dodger fan base out there, is it something that, are you happy of just making to the postseason? Or what needs to change that the Dodgers, what is it that they're missing that this isn't a championship
I don't
franchise
know, Nick,
yet?
but I will tell you
You
this.
had that opportunity in the World Series against the Houston Astros, but you found a way again at games. You got it to Game 7, and you couldn't get it done. Again, you've had so many opportunities as Dodgers team.
Do you remember the last time the Dodgers won a World Series?
What, 88?
1988. They beat the Oakland A's. That's the last time. And how many times they've been in postseason since? A plethora of times.
Again, just hearing.
And it doesn't matter who's managing the team.
In the 2000s, I mean, you got to think that this team has been the postseason probably, at least 11 years, 12 years, something like that. How many times has this team won the NL West? It has not done squat with it.
Nope.
I mean, this was a franchise that it took so long to finally get back to the World Series, and when they did, they still found a way to cough it up against the Houston Astros.
Well, they were yelling last night at Dodger Stadium, MVP for one Corey Bellinger.
All right.
And he hit 211 in the 5-game series.
If that's the only championship hardware or at least any hardware that the Dodgers are going to see, I mean, good on them. But, that was in my mind, it was very surprising. I thought the Dodgers were a better outfit than that, where they would take care. Again, I said that the Dodgers should just sweep Washington. But now I give, obviously, unlimited respect to the Washington Nationals. This is a team, almost a team of destiny, it feels like. And we'll see what happens coming up tonight, where another team is looking to do the same thing out of the wild card. Who could do it? Who could do the same thing? Again, odds are on their side out there in Houston. We'll talk more about that later on. But right now, Washington, a team that just fought and clawed this entire season to get where they are. It feels like this team has everything gelling right now where Washington could get to the World Series without it.
One key player that they lost to free agency, the Nationals.
They didn't miss a beat as I thought they would.
They started out slow, and then they ended up being. They were on an 8-game winning streak by the time the season ended. Real quick before we go into this, so St. Louis will host the National League Championship Series. They will be the home team, believe it or not. And it's interesting with these series thus far, and I said this earlier, 3 teams, road teams, have won to advance on, including the Yankees when they were up 2-0 and had to go to Minnesota for Game 3 and swept the Twins in 3 straight. So can Tampa Bay be that 4th straight road team to win? We'll see coming up here at about, 5:37 this evening. All right, we do need to move into hour number 2. It's another busy hour. We're back after these words on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria. Paisan cuisine at its best 7 days a week. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Well, you see our good friends over at First Tier Bank, banking done the old-fashioned way. Customer service, always first and foremost. Check out their special annual percentage yields on CD rates right now. Man, I'll tell you what, they got some good-looking numbers on the board right there at First Tier Bank. Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, both part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our community with quality workmanship and service for a quarter century. Lennox Enterprises. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Again, Bruce and the crew say, check out what we got. Come on into our showroom floor. GE, Frigidaire, Maytag, Whirlpool, a plethora of goodies for you over at B&B Appliance and TV. And again, they service what they sell. Check out the fine service department too. Maybe you need their services. Give them a call. They'll come out to your place. B&B Appliance and TV. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, you just place your call into Medicap Pharmacy, or you stop on by. They're open Monday through Saturday. Shop inside, or use the convenient drive-thru. Gene and the great staff, same location as always. They will see you over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange serving up 3 delicious squares. And again, they're right across from Powers Field and Menards. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine inside. Use the 2, not 1, but 2 convenient drive-thrus over at Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange. Platte Valley Bank ×2. The east side, you can catch them right there at the corner of College and Pershing. Their original location on Vanda High. Again, serving your banking needs Monday through Friday. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where they're ushering out the 19s, and the 20s are muscling their way in right now. So again, with the 19s needing to go, you're going to find some super deals that AJ has for you. And again, some great pricing plans right now on the 2020s at Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. And we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, KRAE Avenue, Yellowstone Road, Delrange and Ridge, Pershing and Ridge, and right now, for the time being, inside the parking lot at the Outlaw Saloon, the South Greeley address almost done. But again, you can still enjoy Taco John's cuisine at all of the locations I mentioned. 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway at scoreboard time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll go first to Nick.
LCCC action coming up tomorrow. At least there were supposed to be other games happening, but due to the at least weather conditions out here, again, those games for men's and women's soccer have been shifted to Sunday. So the only action for LCCC athletics is women's volleyball in action over at the RAC as they host Sheridan College. 7 o'clock is the start time for tomorrow's contest. Again, LCCC women's volleyball hosting Sheridan College. They're live at the RAC. NHL action for tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning. You also too will see the Red Wings of Detroit go at least travel up north to Montreal to see the Canadiens. New Jersey Devils will host the Edmonton Oilers. The Anaheim Ducks, who are undefeated at this point in time, will travel to Pittsburgh to see the Penguins. In Canada's nation capital, Ottawa, the Ottawa Senators will play host to the St. Louis Blues. The Washington Caps, they will travel to Nashville to Bridgestone Arena to see the Nashville Predators. Winnipeg Jets in Canada will host the Minnesota Wild. At the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, the Chicago Blackhawks will host the San Jose Sharks. Calgary Flames travel to Dallas to see the Stars at the American Airlines Center. Colorado Avalanche hosting the Boston Bruins at Pepsi Center. That game happening tonight at 7 o'clock. You can see it on Altitude Network. And last but not least, the Arizona Coyotes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. That's what's happening in NHL action for this evening. And do want to remind folks, coming up this Friday here at 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear this contest. And you can video live stream with us as we usually do on Periscope via Twitter or the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel, as we will have the Capital City Bowl between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central East hosting this contest at Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex. 6 o'clock start time, 5:20-ish pre-game show here on 1480 KRAE, as it is game number 7 of 2019 in Class 4A football. Game 7, but week 6 here in Class 4A. So looking forward to it again. Capital City Bowl, East versus Central, with a lot on the line, playoff implications and seedings for tomorrow's game.
To the National Football League on tap for tonight. They're favored by 17 points. I think that's actually awfully low. That will be at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, MA. The Pats, New England Patriots, 5-0. They will play host to the 2-3 New York Football Giants. Major League Baseball, one game on the slate for tonight. It is for moving on to the next round. That would be to the American League Championship Series. So it's an ALDS matchup, Game 5. I gave you the wrong start time. It'll be at 5:07 as they will get underway at Minute Maid Park. It will be the Houston Astros hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. Garrett Cole will throw for Houston. Towing the rubber for the Rays will be Tyler Glasnow. That series not up at 2 games apiece. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. On the way, Jerry Schlabs from Cheyenne East.
Alright, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying tanks, whoa, like that one, mythic artifacts. But the most advanced tool in gaming today isn't even in the game. It's right in your hand. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is purpose-built for gaming, created with pro gamers for gamers. What does that mean? It means it's formulated with ingredients that have been shown to improve accuracy, whoa, and alertness. And Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel tastes great too. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel even comes in a special can with a uniquely textured grip, so it's easy to refuel between respawns. The ones you're furiously trying to avoid? Hey, there we go. So next time you log online, gear up. Get the drink designed for gaming. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Right now, it's our pleasure to talk with Cheyenne East Athletic Director Jerry Schlabs as we get ready for Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central, the Capital Bowl. Real quick, Jerry, before we get into the program, had the chance to talk with Chad about this, so let's get your thoughts. School District Board of Trustees voted in softball for girls fast pitch for Cheyenne East, Cheyenne Central, as well as Cheyenne South. Give me your thoughts on the board's decision.
You know, I think it's a great decision actually, and obviously we've had a lot of conversation over the last 2 years about it, and I know we talked previously on your show as well. But I think it's going to be positive for kids, and it's going to be positive for especially the female athletes within the state. And, there's obviously been a big interest in that. There's still some things we have to figure out, but, now that we know it's moving forward, that's obviously going to get it a little bit easier as far as figuring out when we have to hire coaches and the equipment we need and the facilities and so on and so forth. But I know we're going to do some nail down some interest inventories here at in the next couple of months as well to kind of see exactly where we're at. But overall, I think it's a really positive, and I think it's going to, we'll see how it starts out, but I think it'll grow and grow and grow and hopefully become a great event for the girls in our community.
I know you're one of those guys that doesn't wait till the last minute, so have you already put some works in motion, so to speak?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've had so many conversations with the rec softball community and the club softball community, and there's been we sat down at the table so many times in the last about year and a half that there's been just a ton of conversations about a lot of different things. And so we've already started getting calls on people who might be interested in coaching. We have to figure out if we're going to have is it the varsity coach, a varsity and a JV coach. And like you said, working with Mr. Bartlett from the district and Dr. Brown, they've already started talking with the city about facilities. And so there are a lot of things that are kind of starting to get the ball rolling right now. And then that's only going to obviously continue and get a little bit more intense as the months go by.
And, looking at the young ladies who will have this opportunity to participate, not just those that are on club teams, but those that also play on rec teams, but maybe someone that wants to play fast pitch but really doesn't go out for any athletic events. It has to be something that bodes well with all of these schools that will have that opportunity to offer this extra sport.
Absolutely. It's when you offer new sport, you don't want to take from the other sports that already have kids participating. You want it to be an activity or whatever happens to be, in this case, obviously a sport, that you're going to get kids who aren't doing something at that time to come out and participate. And I think softball will do that. We have, it's obviously it may take some kids from soccer and track, but I think there's a large group of kids that play softball during that time already that are going to be able to now play for their school. And like you said, there's kids who probably haven't played competitively, that's going to be a great avenue for them to kind of get involved in a school sport that maybe they haven't done in the past. And so I think you nailed it. It's just an opportunity for kids that may not be doing something or may not be doing something during that time that now are going to have an opportunity to be a part of something. And, obviously all the sports are a big deal, but it's just being part of a team and being part of that school culture and community is very positive no matter what you're involved in.
Real quick while we have a chance here, and we'll get into the bulk of our conversation, especially this big football game, but talk about your fall sports, a lot of it wrapping up. And again, I know football has still got about 3 weeks of the regular season left, and then we'll go on to playoffs. But some very positive events happened for you on the fall sports side.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've, as you know, we've wrapped up golf, and we've wrapped up tennis, cross country. They have their regional meet, their conference meet next week, and state in 2 weeks. And so things are winding down. It goes fast. It seems like it goes faster every year. But we've had some very positive outcomes. Our golf team, our boys golf team, who's kind of been in the mix for the last 4 years, they once again were right there and had some very positive finishes. We had a pretty young tennis team, but they had a very solid year for us. We struggled at times to get a lot of girls out for tennis, and we had a ton of girls come out for tennis this year, which is really positive, and they're young, and they did very well. The same with our cross-country team. We struggled at times to have, to field 7 girls on a cross-country team last year, and now we have, 20 girls out for cross-country, and they're finishing well. Our boys and girls both just won the Wheatland Invite last week, and they finished in the top 5 multiple times this year. Girls swim, Coach Anderson, he's in his second year as our head coach. He's also the coach at the junior high, so that's a program where he's just working on building numbers right now, and so we're getting kids out for that. So some of those sports people really don't hear about, those are kind of finishing up right now or have finished, and there's just a lot of positive things going on, and it goes back to the same thing we said about softball. We're just getting a lot of kids out and a lot of participation, and that's very, very positive. And then with volleyball and football, like you said, which we'll talk about, our volleyball team they've had a great year so far. They've lost 3 games, I believe. And so all you can ask in high school sports is to kind of be in the mix and have a chance to be competitive. And I think we've done that at East High School, and we kind of hopefully reload each year versus rebuilding.
I'm excited to call this game Friday with East and Central. For once, and over the last few years, this has a lot of relevance to the standings. But I'm going to put you on the spot real quick here in my final question. You've had the opportunity, player, coach, and athletic director. Give us your thoughts about East Central, this matchup as a player. Give me your thoughts as a coach, because you've been on that side of that fence before, and now as the athletic director.
You bet. I mean, as a player, it's just really fun. I think the kids all know each other. They play sports together in the off season. If they're baseball players or softball players or whatever that happens to be, there's a lot of opportunities where they get together and do things. So for the kids, it's just a really great atmosphere. We have Colorado officials that come down sometimes and do our basketball games, and even those guys say they don't officiate a game that's the same intensity and the same environment and the same fun as our East Central basketball games. You could say the same about any of the crosstown rivalry games. So I think as a player, it's fun, it's nerve-wracking, it's exciting, but it's just a great experience for someone this young to be able to kind of be a participant in something like that the community really gets behind, and the atmosphere is as fun as it is. As a coach, I would say it's nerve-wracking because everyone says it every year, and every time we play, you can throw the records out. It's very, very true. You kind of laugh when you say it, but I've coached teams that I thought we were way better. I've coached teams where I thought Central may have been better at the time I was coaching, but every game is a battle, and it doesn't matter what your record is. It always seems like it's a close game, always seems like it's a really good game. And but at the same time, similar to the kids, it's a really fun game to coach in, and it's exciting to be a part of. And like you said, when the teams are pretty evenly matched like they are this year, I think that just adds a little bit more to the table and makes it even that much more fun. And so it's a good time. And then as an AD, you can just kind of step back and enjoy it a little bit more, I guess. It's you obviously still want our teams to win and have success and root for our kids, but it's just fun to see the community kind of come together and provide an atmosphere for our student athletes that is pretty special, and that's the things that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
As before we let you go, and I'm going to put you on the spot, and if you can't come up with one, that's great. Best East Central memory in your life?
Oh gosh, for us, back when I played, and as you know, I played for Central, so we had some good games with East back as a player. I'll tell you, just a couple of years ago, it's one of the most recent ones, and I don't know if it's the best one in my life. It's just coming off the top of my head. You know, we were heavily favored against Central 2 years ago over at Oakey Blanchard, and Central came out and just kind of took it to us for about 3.5 quarters, and we were kind of done, and I didn't think there was really a chance that we were going to be able to pull it out, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, momentum swung our way, and we had about 3 scores, I think, and just had some big plays. The ball bounced our way, as we know has to happen a little bit, and had a great comeback where we kind of won in the last minute of the game, and that was an exciting game for our school and for our kids and our team. But yeah, there's a ton of them. I'd say, obviously, back when I was a player, we won state my senior year. We had to go to Evanston, and we had a great game in Rock Springs in the semifinals. And so, obviously, when it's state, that has to be at the top as well. But just a lot of fun memories as player and coach.
That's Cheyenne East Athletic Director Jerry Schlabs on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a timeout. We got more of our pregame show coming up after these words. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with light snow likely throughout the day with highs around 23 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 8 and winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 40, and on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 18.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Right now we're talking with Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca. Coach, let's look back on the win at Casper Kelly Walsh. It almost seemed like you came in there on a 3-game win streak and Mother Nature was not going to work in your favor, especially with that big wind. And, you know, I mean, and then Coach McKelkey also had a pretty good game plan in place, too, where he wanted to keep your defense out of the field. But somehow, some way, your Indians did okay and came away with a big victory.
Yeah, I thought offensively, you know, we did pretty well considering the conditions. I mean, came out and scored early and kept it on our side, which was a good thing. And kind of stalled a couple times in the third quarter. But, you know, and defensively, you know, early on we kind of got punched in the mouth with that long run, and I think that gave them a lot of momentum, you know, and made it a good game. But I was proud of our kids the way they hung in there.
You know, one thing also, too, and I always look at different aspects of the ball game, and your kicker, Tegan Tippett, who we're seeing a lot of improvement in this young man, and we're seeing more confidence, and you showed confidence in him even with the wind at his back. where he hit that big 40-yard field goal for you. But it's interesting because I've covered a lot of Cheyenne Central football over the years, and Central has been a hotbed for kickers that can boot it a long way. I think of, matter of fact, back in your time, Miles Cumberpatch, there was a McMines kid. Central's always had a good stable of kickers.
It's really nice to have. That was a big score there in late in, I guess it was third quarter, early fourth, whenever it was, but kind of put us 2 scores up, so that was a huge kick, and Tegan does have a big leg, and he's starting to get more consistent with it, and, it helps there. It helps in our kickoffs, as well when our defense can give the opponent a long field. So really glad he's around and starting to really, come around as a kicker.
With your 4th straight victory, and we talked about it last week, practices, but, I remember the old days where the coach just says, be coachable. I have a feeling now as you get your young men together along with your coaching staff that this team is very coachable right now and willing to and eager to learn more.
They are, and what you really enjoy seeing this week is just that added level of focus for them. I'm not sure we've seen that yet, and I think they're starting to enjoy this winning, and maybe more importantly, being competitive piece of it. And so there's a little bit of added focus for them this week. They know it's a big game in all facets, and it's fun to see them rise to the occasion that way.
Coach, I'm going to take you back in time, East Central, and again, East was struggling back in the day when you were playing. They've been more relevant here at the turn of the century, but it's still East Central. It was a rivalry, and I guess let me get your thoughts on what it was like gearing up for East Central.
I'm not sure that there's any better games than rivalry games. If you can't get excited about them, really no matter, and it's so cliche, but really no matter what the record is, it's just, it means a lot to the community. And so I know these kids, on both sides are probably really pumped to be able to play it, and it's nice to be in it where it's you'd like to believe somewhat of a relevant game. I know for us it is, in terms of trying to continue on winning and maybe making a run in late October. So I know our kids are excited about it, and these are the games in October that you want to be a part of that are meaningful, and so we're excited to have the opportunity.
Both you and Cheyenne East are 4-2, and whoever loses the game is going to still be entrenched in that number 5 hole, and the winner is going to be in the top 4. I guess, Coach, as you look ahead towards this game, what are some of the keys for your team to remain hot?
I think defensively we've got to try to limit their big plays. They've got some explosive kids, and both at the receiver and quarterback position, even the running back position. We just got to limit our big plays and hopefully make them kind of drive the football a little bit. So I think defensively that's going to be really important. And on the flip side, offensively, we really try to focus on moving the chains and keep the ball out of their hands. And so you know how it is, Larry, in these games. Some of the big factors will be things like turnovers and special teams. I'd like to believe that the teams on paper are pretty evenly matched, and it really comes down at this point to who takes care of the ball and maybe gets something going on the special teams.
We have been blessed through the first 6 weeks, and again, last week was an exception to the rule, and of course you've had a couple of the lightning games over at Risky Field, but weather-wise it's been okay for this football season. But we're looking at a game possibly Friday night under the lights at the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex, where weather's going to come into play. Could be colder, could be wet. We don't know, again, from the possible storm that's headed our way. But do you have an alternate package, Coach? Again, you have your basic offensive package that you've been running for the last few weeks, but if you have weather situations, do you change things up a little bit?
I'd like to believe that we don't. I think, honestly, something like wind probably, to me, creates more of issues in the passing game, for instance, than even moisture, to be honest with you. Now, I'm sure there's points where, it's just out of control. But, yeah, we always have something in. But, we're trying to be balanced either way. And if the game dictates that we need to try to run a little bit more, that, we feel comfortable in doing that as well. But, we feel like that, our kids can manage whatever the weather presents.
And final thought, in this day and age, sometimes rivalry games are, they are what they are, I guess, with these younger guys compared to your day and my day when we got ramped up for these big rivalry games. But a lot of these guys, they play ball together or they hang out together during the summer, whatever the case may be. But how do you get these guys fired up to step onto the field against Cheyenne East?
I think you're right, and I think in maybe a healthy way, it is good that these guys, have those extra friendships. And honestly, we did too, especially if you were a baseball player back in the day. We were always combined with post six and those sorts of things. So there's still something. It's not any different than a sibling type of thing. I mean, you still love each other at the end, but when it's time to roll, you still want that upper hand. So I think these kids, we haven't had to do too much to put out the importance of this game. But I think, we're really focusing because it's so important at this level of the program right now that, the main focus right now is trying to figure out how to get better and get another win. And, if it happens to come against a rival, that's great. But we really want to focus on those 2 points right now.
And final thought, in addition to this game, and I think back to the old days too when we were at the old Okie Blanchard Stadium, you guys never felt like that was your home field because you always had to get dressed and hang your clothes on a nail. But bottom line is you're at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex Friday, and then your last 2 games are at Milt Risky Field. You have to feel pretty good for the next 3 weekends. You're going to be sleeping in your own bed.
I'll tell you what, you don't appreciate it until you have to go on one of those long road trips. So absolutely, it's nice to be local for the next 3 weeks, and maybe in the end of it, just getting a little bit more rest for these kids will pay off. So we're excited, and we're excited, that the community would be out there supporting it and supporting these kids on both sides of it. I think it's great for the community, and hopefully we can all put on a good show.
Cheyenne Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca. We will take a timeout. We'll come back with more after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Some common things that can affect your personal or at-work computer. The worst of all is a virus. Secondly, it runs too slow because the hard drive is filled or something else internally is wrong, and it's in serious need of an upgrade. Before you get rid of it, let Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair attack and fix those problems right away. Affordable Computer Repair is just that. So call 307-256-8971 and let Lanny's many years of computer service get your computer back up and running the way it should be so you don't miss a day of work or the personal use that you expect from it. He's worked on them all, so you'll feel confident he'll get the job done right. So don't junk it. Help is on the way from Affordable Computer Repair. Call 307-256-8971.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Right now we're talking with Cheyenne East head coach Chad Goff. Coach, real quick, as we will ramp up towards the game between Cheyenne Central, but I want to look back last week against the Laramie Plainsmen, and again, coming off the double overtime loss to Casper Natrona. I know you have a good feel for your team, but did you know what to expect last week when your team took the field against the Plainsmen?
Yeah, we kind of had an idea that we would bounce a little bit. They bounced well after the loss to Thunder Basin, and so I thought they responded. The first half wasn't the best half in the world, but you could tell we were right on the brink of kind of opening it up a little bit, and I really thought the second half they responded to the challenges we set forth at halftime.
As you look at your team right now, as you enter this weekend's contest, tell me right now, what is still a deficiency on the team that you would like to see improve before the season's end?
Just the consistency. I think there's been games where we've gotten points almost every possession. There's been games where we've had to punt too many times, and so offensively we just got to become more consistent. Same defensively, I think, consistency there. There's games where we hold teams to less than 100 yards rushing, and then there's games where we give up more than 100 yards rushing. So we got to get that, and then I think special teams, we just need to have a big play sometime on special teams. We need to score some points on special teams at some point.
I asked Coach Apodaca this, and I'm going to ask you the same question as well. Do you have a certain package put together for a weather change? And I'm talking about in case we do get the snowfall that is expected or the cold temperatures. Do you have another game plan in place, or do you pretty much stay towards the vest with what you currently run?
I would say we stay with what we currently run. Obviously, we work the run a little bit more on weeks like this, but it's hard to believe the weather reports until kickoff, and so to change everything, to me, just wouldn't be that productive for us.
You look at this rivalry, and again, you have been on the sidelines of this rivalry for a long time right now. Again, I know you don't get caught up into it as much as the kids do, but is it still something that motivates the kids as they're in practice during the week?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit to it still. Today's world is so much different, living in the same town, growing up and playing on travel teams with these kids and things like that. It's not what I would say you and I grew up with as far as a rivalry. It's just a little bit different. I think the rivalry still stands, no doubt about it, but I think it's more on the adults and their pride than it is on the kids. I think the kids just love to go play the game. So it is a little bit different.
But from a standing standpoint and a coaching standpoint, this one is a pretty big one on the schedule. It has a lot of significance. Win, you're in that top four. If you lose, you're in that number 5 hole. Yeah, no doubt, and that's what we put ourselves in the position to have to play that way, to almost be in a playoff already. Like we talked to our kids about early on in the season, there's certain games that if you don't win them, they're going to come back and bite you later on, and we've already dropped 2 games, and so we've kind of put ourselves in a playoff situation, having to win if we want to have a home playoff game. I look back on the game that we did last week at Casper Kelly Walsh, and with that particular game, Coach McKelkey tried to keep that defense on the field for Cheyenne Central and trying to, keep that potent offense off the field. But as you've looked at Cheyenne Central, you see improvements on both sides of the football.
Yeah, no doubt. I think they're getting more comfortable as the season goes on. I think they're making some good connections on offense, reading some things right defensively. I think I think their defensive line is a pretty big strength for them. I think they do good things, and so it should definitely be a great game.
And one final thought, as you look at your team, secondary is going to be tested this weekend. Are they up for that challenge?
I guess we're going to find that out. They've done some good things in the past. They held up a little bit against Thunder Basin, kind of had some miscues here and there, and hopefully we got those worked out. But yeah, they're definitely going to have to be on their game. But that as well goes to the defensive line. We can't let McCleary just set his feet. He's got to have some happy feet back there, and we got to be in his face as much as possible.
Cheyenne East head coach Chad Goff will take a timeout. We're back with more right here on 1480 KRAE. Come one, come all to the 3rd annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market presented by family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. This annual event will be Saturday, October 19th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. at 8908 Yellowstone Road. It's only $5 entry per carload.
There will be plenty of vendors and crafters, hay rides, pumpkins, straw and corn stalks for sale, along with crafts for kids, fall and Halloween gift items, and a whole lot more, including food vendors serving up delicious eats. All youngsters are encouraged to wear their Halloween costumes too. So mark it down and plan to attend a fun day at the 3rd Annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market, Saturday, October 19th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., brought to you by Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. 10 years ago, the Department of Defense selected High West Energy to provide electricity on F.E. Warren Air Force Base. For a decade, we have been proud to work hand in hand with the Air Force leadership to ensure we provide the base with the affordable, reliable power it needs to be an economic driver for the region and serve a vital national security interest for this country. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with light snow likely throughout the day with highs around 23 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 8 and winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 40, and on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 18.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today as we wind down our Thursday program. Get no program tomorrow because we will be live from the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. It will be Cheyenne East hosting Cheyenne Central. I will go across the way to you because I remember the days when you, your sister, and your mother was a Cheyenne Central grad, and you guys are Cheyenne East products, and it was always so much fun during football time in Casa de Proetti during this time of year. Who's gonna win? And everybody you guys were East and Central.
Well, back in that day, more than not, it was us beating Central at that point in time. But again, the only one that, at least the notable one between Cheyenne East and Central was at least there in 2006, where again it was for the state championship.
And I think I remember your mother going like this to you guys around the house.
Yeah, good. At least good for radio to at least say what you're doing right there.
She put the L on her forehead, going loser to you guys.
You're an idiot. All right, you forget sometimes that we are on radio.
But for those there,
even then they can't even see you.
All right, let's just quiet down.
Yeah,
your pick, East Central tomorrow. Both teams 4-2.
Well,
no. Well. There's no points. Straight
up.
We're
not playing favorites here, but if anything of what go home field advantage, I go Cheyenne East. Without a doubt. I think East is probably again, in my opinion, I think East is more the talented program compared to Cheyenne Central. It's a team that I think tomorrow's game is going to be a lot closer, but I think East just finds a way to get it done in some way, shape, or form. I think penalties may be an issue once again for the Thunderbirds, which allows Central to take advantage and get some points on the board over, again, what could have been a first down opportunity for Cheyenne East now gets backed up for whatever penalty. Again, I just go off of the previous contest. I just think East gets it done, close fashion, give them maybe a touchdown, at least win in this contest. It might be a high-scoring affair, but again, high winds are supposed to be as well in effect tomorrow's game. A little bit warmer than what we expected. Snow should be melted, so not a big factor. I don't think it would be.
No, the turf absorbs that moisture pretty good. So,
well, either way, though, I think East gets it done. I think in a close fashion, it might be a high-scoring affair. Teams put up probably a 30 spot on both sides. Something like that. It might be a good old-fashioned shootout coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow's game, to me, would not surprise me if it goes overtime. Would not surprise me. I also have seen under Chad Goff during his coaching tenure at Cheyenne East, I know when conditions change, gets a little colder, his teams seem to bumble and stumble a little bit in the colder weather. So I feel this one has all the makings of overtime. I'll take Central in overtime tomorrow.
Whatever. Anyways, again, it doesn't matter because we're pulling for all three Cheyenne schools to do.
Absolutely.
Fortunate, obviously, one's got to win between Central and East, and we'll see what it's going to be. But I think it's going to be a great game, a competitive game, and I think it might be a high score.
You're rushing me. We got this much time left, and you're rushing me. East Central is more important than this.
Well, how about this? You tune in for the game tomorrow and listen to what the outcome's going to be. How about that instead?
There you go.
Instead of listening to us
and watch
try to give a pick about.
I'm just by what we're seeing. I'm looking at the hotter team right now is Central.
All right. Anyways, moving away from
Great
that
running
again.
backs too, by the way, Anderton and Lobatos.
How about this again? Tune in for the game tomorrow on 5 different ways here on 1480 KRAE. How about that? Get ready for it like that. Anyways, as we move on again, as we are close to the top of the hour, at least to end Wyoming Sports Talk today, since you failed to realize that, again, it's going to take us a while to get through these picks as it usually does. Again, you got some thinking to do after how you did, but again,
so do you, dude.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Week 6 picks here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Basically, quick recap. 5 games of my choosing, whether it is NCAA, NFL games we pick against a spread. We might even toss in another sport as well as we did today, or at least I have chosen. Again, we pick against the spread. The standings are on the 1480 KRAE website. Again, you go to 1480KRAE.com. You look for the Wyoming Sports Talk Today page. On the sidebar, you'll find the weekly standings and picks. That's where you go to follow along and play along if you want to. Again, just like that. Again, 5 games of my choosing. We'll start with game number 1 of our Week 6 picks coming up tonight. It will be MLB action. And, yes, we will pick against at least a certain spread in this contest, but it will be the Tampa Bay Rays who finished out the season 96-66. They will be at the Houston Astros, who finished their season 107-55. This is at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, 5:07, at least is the start time for this game on Fox Sports 1 is where you can watch this game. It is Game 5 of the ALDS. In this contest, the Houston Astros at home, they are a 1.5-run favorite in this game.
I'm going with Tampa upset. It will be an all-AL East matchup. The Yankees hosting Tampa Bay, Game 1 of the ALCS coming up over the weekend.
Well, to gain some ground on you, I will choose against you. I will go Houston Astros at home. Again, a team that's been here, done it, unlike the Rays, who've been at least sporadic in Houston, where the Astros seem to be immortal at certain points in time. Houston, a team that's been here before, knows what the do-or-die game means and how to win those games. You can go back to a couple of years ago, that Game 7 World Series on the road, nonetheless, in Los Angeles. They know how to get it done, Houston. They win this contest, and again, that 1.5. Yeah, I'll take it too. I think they find a way to cruise into at least that American League Championship Series.
Lest we not forget, Tampa beat Oakland at Oakland.
Oakland, that's Oakland. This is Houston. Houston who won the AL West. Houston that's won a World Series in recent years. Yeah,
I agree. I'm not going to argue.
Anyways, you'll go Tampa. I'll go Houston in our Game 1, at least, of Week 6 picks. We'll move to Saturday's contest. This is NCAA football. With the NCAA games, I do have 3 factoids to at least sway your decision in any way. So we'll go to game number 2, which will be on Saturday. Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors, who are 4-1 overall, 1-0 in Mountain West play. They will be at number 14, the Boise State Broncos, who are 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the Mountain West Conference. This is at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho. 8:15 p.m. is the kickoff time on ESPN2 is where you can watch this game. Boise State Broncos at home. They are 12.5-point favorites in this contest. Now, Boise State does lead this series 12-3, and they are undefeated at 6-0 in Boise, Idaho. Boise State is 19-3 under Brian Harshin, the head coach of the Broncs, who during the month of October. And also, too, Boise State has an all-time record of 111 wins and 19 losses when ranked in the top 25 of the AP poll, the coaches poll, or the college football playoff poll. So with that being said, again, a team, Boise, undefeated against Hawaii at home. 19-3 in the month of October under head coach Brian Harshin, and again 111-19 when they are ranked in the top 25, no matter what. With that being said, as much as I want to give respect to Hawaii, again, conditions not going to be as terrible there, Boise, but a little bit cooler than what it is in the islands. You got to travel all the way out here again against a very competitive, a very staunch team than what you saw in Reno, Nevada. I go Boise. Yeah, you cover that 12.5. I'll take the Broncos to get the win and win pretty big in this one.
I was going with Hawaii initially after talking with Bobby Curran yesterday, but they've got to come off the islands too many times, and this one, I think this one will be a toll taker on Hawaii. I have a feeling this one they're going to get beat up. And I like Boise State in this one at Albertson Stadium.
Again, I think Boise State's probably a little bit more talented what they saw out of Washington.
Something special is brewing there in Boise right now with this team.
Yeah, but also, too, there is something that sits in at least the back of my mind. Again, you go back to their contest against Marshall where they won by 7 points at that blue turf. Does worry me a bit that Boise can play down to its opponents and keep those games pretty close. But 12.5, I think they should get it done. The conditions do help out. And, again, the series record, yeah, Boise, they take care of things.
You're selling the Thundering Herd short. They're not that bad of an outfit.
I would say Hawaii's probably a better team than Marshall.
Yeah, probably a little bit better, yeah. But I think Boise State will cover the spread.
Anyway, so we'll both agree on that one. So we'll go with the Boise State Broncos. Moving to game number 3, still on Saturday. More NCAA football action between the Wyoming Cowboys, who are 4-1 overall, 1-0 in Mountain West play. They will be at San Diego State. The Aztecs, who are 4-1 as well, 1-1 in Mountain West play. This is happening at SDCCU Stadium in San Diego, California. 8:30 is the kickoff time on CBS Sports Network. San Diego State, 3.5-point favorite in this game. With that being said, Saturday marks the 38th all-time meeting between the teams, with Wyoming owning a 19-18 series edge in this contest. This is the 6th game of the season, and San Diego State has won the 6th game of the season each of the last 9 years. The last game 6 loss was back in October 17th of 2009 for the San Diego State Aztecs. And also, too, San Diego State is +8 in turnover margin in 2019, is tied for 3rd nationally in turnover margin per game. So, again, we already know that defense is very good, but just the stats to kind of back it up and prove it. Again, San Diego State at home against Cowboys, 3.5-point favorite. You're up with all that being said.
You know, it's usually a home type of deal. Cowboys win at the War. San Diego State wins in San Diego. That was back in the days.
Clear as the series indicates, 19-8.
But I was going to say, that was back in the days at Qualcomm. Here's the deal. I'm going to go with the Cowboys this week. I think the extra week off helped out a little bit, getting some bodies healed up, also working on that pass game because they got to shore it up. San Diego State's not going to score a lot of points, but they're not going to give up a lot of points either. So it's going to be a very close one. It would not shock me to see San Diego win 20-19. It would not shock me to see the Cowboys win this thing by a field goal as well. I'm going to give the Cowboys the edge in this one.
I'll go against you. I'll go San Diego State to win at home, get it done. Again, that 3.5-point favorite. Yeah, sure, San Diego State could win by 4, could win by 5, by 7. They'll win close like that. I don't think they run away in this contest. It'll be very, at least, competitive throughout this entire game. But I think San Diego State just at home, just having that hometown, at least home crowd feeling there in front of them and not traveling up to Laramie gives them a slight advantage. Yeah, I'll go against you. I'll go Aztecs to get it done and take that 3.5-point at least favored for the Aztecs. So you go Wyoming, I go San Diego State. Moving to game 4 of our Week 6 picks, we'll move to Sunday's actions with NFL games. We will start with, again, you talk about how bad tonight's game is, but again,
This is ugly. I can't believe you got this on the schedule.
Oh, stop whining over there. But either way,
tickets are $17. You can get them as low as $17 right now. That's how bad this game is. College games cost more.
Good for you.
Come on.
Anyways, Sunday's games, game number 4 for us. It will be the Washington Redskins, who are 0-5 on the season. They will be at the Miami Dolphins, who are 0-4. This is happening at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. 11 a.m. kickoff on Fox, if it's even going to be shown on Fox in this area. But the Washington Redskins on the road, they are 3.5-point favorites in this contest. Again, like what we did with Cincinnati and Arizona, it's just kind of a comical, at least toilet bowl game for us to pick on of who will get their first win. 3.5 for Washington on the road, where I think Miami's going to go 0-16 this year. Sure, I'll take Washington. I think the Redskins on the road, congrats, you get your first win. I think they're a more talented team than Miami. Like I said, I think Miami goes 0-16.
I'm just going to go with Washington just simply for the fact that I think their defense is a little bit better. Miami has no offense, so you got
also too. Again, Washington's in state of flux where you just got rid of your head coach. You're trying to figure out things. Could that be more turmoil to cause Miami to get that win at home? There's a lot of question marks in this game. Again, it is clearly the toilet bowl, but yeah, Washington, I think overall talent-wise is a lot better than Miami. Miami just looks overall just pathetic as a franchise.
And that means they'll probably win this weekend, but this is just a brutal game.
So either way, though, it's happening coming up Sunday, and we will both go with the Washington Redskins to win and take that 3.5 on the road against the Miami Dolphins. And to wrap up our Week 6 picks with game number 5, staying on Sunday's action. How about this one out of the NFC West? The San Francisco 49ers, who are undefeated right now at 4-0. They will be at the Los Angeles Rams, who are 3-2. This is happening in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. 2:05 kickoff on Fox is where you can watch this game on Sunday. The Rams at home, however, are a 3.5-point favorite in this game.
Well, bottom line is the Niners could be 0-4 right now. They could be 0-14. I will never, ever, ever pick the Los Angeles Rams, as I don't like anything out of Los Angeles. I will always stay true to the 49ers in this one, and I think this team, after watching them beat up Cleveland, they're for real. Rams got problems, and Seattle exposed those problems last Thursday night.
Yeah,
I've got the Niners in this one.
Yeah, it's easy. 49ers should remain undefeated in this game. LA does not look as daunting as they were last year. I think this is an LA Rams team that is having a bit of a Super Bowl hangover this season, and I think the 49ers right now are just firing on all cylinders. Yes, they are a bit injured. Some big names are injured for the 49ers, but I don't think that's going to affect this team too much. Again, seeing what they can do, especially led by one Jimmy G, I think the 49ers continue the undefeated ranks, can be 5-0 after this week. I think they take care of business pretty well against the Rams. I think it's not going to be as close as what you saw against Seattle in L.A. for that Thursday night game. I think the 49ers take care of business pretty handily in this game on the road.
Yeah, I really like the direction that Kyle Shanahan has the team going in right now.
But this is a win for the 49ers to kind of stamp and say, yes, they are for real.
Yeah, team. Again, it's Los Angeles. We're talking about a city that's charging $5.39 for a gallon of gasoline right now. I don't think so. I will never go with L.A. All right. We got to wrap things up here for this evening.